we're not going to be able to fit all of this on the desk. Probably not, but oh my lord. Hello, how's it going? We have stationery because it's package day. I have just been acquiring bits and pieces, it seems, because acquiring stationery bits and using stationery bits is two separate hobbies, obviously. So today we're going to have a look through a little stash of new items as we go through. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Otherwise, let me know what you're up to. Are you, just chilling, hanging out? Are you doing your laundry? Are you working in your journal while we go through? Let me know. But I think that we will start over there, which means moving all of this stuff out of the way. I'm very excited to have these bits and pieces, but at the same time, I'm just like, yeah, now we need to go find space and storage for them, which is like the less fun part. So as we go through, I have linked everything in the description box wherever possible. If there's anything that I've missed, just let me know, because there is a definite chance that I have missed some items. We'll put these guys down here and hope that they don't roll away. I feel like I need a buffer. Here we go. This can be the buffer. This one isn't a new item. This is just here for any swatching we might need to do. And we can get these guys out of the way. Don't fall off the desk. You have so much to live for. Excellent. But what are we up to? Digging through your stationery for junk journal page. Nice. Just giving yourself a petty. Oh, excellent. A little self-care moment. Treat yourself. Nice. Evening from Yorkshire. Crocheting while watching. I so want to learn how to crochet. It's not a right now problem, but I wish. We've got a couple people crocheting. Is it okay? Is it just me, or is crocheting becoming increasingly popular right now? I feel like it's in a trend kind of season right now. But our first item, as you can see, is washi tape. Well, tapes in general, because these ones technically aren't washi. These ones are from the washi tape shop. One set in particular, you've probably already seen. We had this in my February setup. I loved the purple color palette. I thought it was really, really pretty. But one of them's a sticker, this guy, and the other one is what I'm going to call, quote, just a tape. But you can see that it is a really pretty kind of like skyscape with little burbs. Some of the burbs I feel are a little interesting. I'm like, is this bird doing like a 360? That guy over there, because he kind of looks upside down. Same with that one. I'm like, some of the birds just feel like they're upside down, but they're still quite nice. So this one I've been using for the entire of this month because, I thought that it was a nice, bright, fun color palette. It felt semi-romantic without being too in your face, like this is a Valentine's theme, so that's part of the reason why I used it. But that one comes in a set with this one. And now initially, when I first got the tapes, I was thinking, oh yeah, it's kind of like a fun coincidence that they have the same palette. I didn't think they actually belonged together. So I was kind of apprehensive about using them together in a setup, because I'm like, oh, they don't actually look like they kind of belong with each other. The artistry seems a little bit different, but having seen some inspiration pictures online for how people were using them, I'm like, okay, you got me. So hopefully you can see this kiss cut line that goes up the side of the mountain there. And that's just gives you effectively like a sticker that you can lay over the top of the other ones. That's how I've been using it. But this is it's just really cute. I like the little pops of yellow. I think that that's kind of fun. But my favorite part about this, if we just kind of pull this along, we've obviously got like a lake design here. Going further, it's a very long loop. There's a little train. I thought the train was great. I thought that one was really cute. So I've been using these two in conjunction with each other and just kind of like laying one tape over the top of the other, so you can see the sky poking through the other side, which has been a fun way to use it. Yeah, I know, right? It is a cute train. So this one is one of those palettes that I feel like I'll probably only use it once, which always makes me a little bit sad, because obviously with the washi tape shops, like you can see how much of this I have left right now. The length of the tape is quite long, and thus the price point can be a little bit higher for some of their tapes. So with ones like this, where it's like once you use it, it's pretty obvious that you've done it for a theme. So as somebody who typically only does a theme once, I'm not too sure how I'm going to utilize it in future. It'll probably end up being used in my reading journal, maybe. And a lot of the stationery that we're going to show off today is going to be stuff that I use in my reading journal, because I am doing a lot more kind of like collage-y style in there. Yeah, definitely a cute train. I'm glad that you guys are on the same train. Da-da-cha. Okay, terrible. I'm glad you're on the same page with me there, because I thought it was cute. I got like weirdly excited about the train, and I'm just like, I feel like it's a good thing that nobody's watching in while I'm unwrapping these at the time of unwrapping them, because they'd probably be like, Jessie, okay? Like, Calm down, it's just a train. But this next set here, we've got 3 tapes in this bundle, and these are all little pandas. I use them in Vogel's setup, so some of the stickers are gone, but these ones are washi stickers. I love washi stickers so much because they are just so much easier to use than the kind of PET tapes that you have to cut out the elements yourself. Like, ugh, I don't have time for that. I mean, I do, 'cause I certainly use the time, but I would rather not have to use the time. So these guys, we've got little pandas, we've got little, like, fluffy ducks and rabbits and such, and a bunch of different designs on these, so it's like little florist panda collecting some flowers and such, little calligraphy panda, and lanterns, and just lots and lots of cute things. I think that these ones are really nice because you get 3 rolls and the design loop is quite long. It means you get heaps and heaps of designs, which means it's very easy to use them for a full month. So if we kind of lay that out there, put that there. So we see one here, very cute. And we'll put this one out next to it. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you the entire thing on just like one static image here because the design loop is fairly long, but we'll get to a point where, oh, so cute. These 3 look like the same ones, but like in a comic panel almost. It's like the same panda from different angles. Just choo, choo, choo. And then these ones here. But as said, because you get so many individual designs with these, it means that doing it for a full month and having a lot of kind of variation between the layouts is very helpful. You find cutting out the PET relaxing. I find it to be very satisfying when your scissors get the glide point, you know, like when you're cutting wrapping paper for wrapping a present or whatever, and you get them in just the right angle that you can like glide through the paper. I find that achieving that with the PET cutting can be very easy. But in terms of getting all like, you know, fiddly around specific designs, especially the ones that are like those very delicate florals, I'm like, oh my gosh, if this was just a sticker, it'd be so much much easier. But these guys, super, super cute. I love these ones. These little two little sweeties here. And then we've got little like bamboo elements and like a hot pot type thing so that then hot pot panda can have a snack. And this is like little peach panda or something like that. I think there's some kind of like bun, but whatever. So this was the theme that I used in Vogel's journal. I would definitely be keen to use it in mine at some point though, because I think these are so cute. I think they're very, very sweet. But I don't know, in my mind, this is great for a, like, January, February theme. I know you can do pandas at any point in time, but I feel like I've already missed the boat because I feel like it should have just been done in January, February. I'm gonna use them at some point, just not right now. So, very, very sweet pandas. We can roll those ones up. We'll just flip the tape over and whee! Nice and easy rolling them up because they are quite a long repeat. And this is the thing, like, you can see how much tape you get on this. And the repeat is like a meter long or something. There's 6 meters of tape, and you get so many designs. It's excellent. One of the things that I very much enjoy about that, you know, the fact that you get as much tape as you do, and the design repeat is as long as it is that if you have friends who are also into, you know, paper crafts and decorating journals and such, you guys can just go in together on the tape and get like, you know, 2 repeats each, 3 repeats each, depending on how many of you there are. I've been very tempted to hit up Monica and Rachel and be like, hey, so I want to buy this tape, but I don't really need the whole thing. Like, do you want to go halvesies? The only issue, of course, is that then somebody gets the actual roll and somebody gets like off-cut pieces. But, you know, you can half and half it. Maybe like one person gets this roll and then the cut off of that one or like something like that. But I need those pandas. Yeah, the Kiss Cut ones I personally prefer just because they just make using it easier. And part of the reason that I use tapes and stickers and such in my journal is for speed, is for like convenience and speed. So by having them Kiss Cut, it is just like peel it off, stick it in, very easy. If they're not Kiss Cut, then it's like, cool, I now have to go and cut all the designs out, which then, you know, adds to the time taken in that respect, which means I'm not necessarily not going to spend time in other areas of the design kind of process, but I'm less inclined to spend as much time in the design process. And I'd rather spend it there and kind of like fiddle around with, tweak my layout so that they can be as I don't know. I'm gonna say perfect. I don't mean perfect, but they can be as perfect as I can get them to be. But first live stream, yay! Love from Brazil, love from Wellington, New Zealand. I love it. I love our international audience. So we've got those ones, very cute. Yeah, the idea of splitting the prints with tape is a good idea. Because, yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, if you're only going to use the tape for a month, which oftentimes is the case for me, then getting as much tape as you do on one of these rolls can just feel like a bit much. It's like, cool, I'm spending, I don't know how much this tape is. We're just gonna say $10. I do not know the actual amount. $10 on this tape, and I'm gonna use maybe a third of it. I'm like, cool, that's like $6 wasted. But if I went in with 2 friends and we used a third of it each, then I feel like I've spent my money more responsibly in a way. But of course, if you were looking for savings, because we love savings, all of these pretty much have discount codes in the description box because, why spend full price? Why spend full price? In this economy? No, I don't think so. These ones, I was very tempted to make my theme for February as well. I was kind of tossing up between them. And if you've seen Remy Art and Boudreaux's, I'm pretty sure I'm getting those the wrong way around, but she does really nice reading journal and bullet journal kind of content and such. And we featured her in one of our collaborator videos that we had on the channel. She used this one in her February setup, and I was just like, oh, I'm glad I didn't double up on your theme because I don't want to feel like I'm, cheating. Like I stole your theme. I didn't steal her theme, but I think that she did a really good job of using this tape, which was really nice. We'll just scoot these guys up here for now so that we can see this one. This one is a PET tape, but again, each of these are kiss cut designs, so you can peel them off as like an individual sticker, which I'm not going to do because I'll end up getting it stuck in a wrong way, but you get the idea, right? So we've got a bunch of these very large pieces and then these smaller ones. I think that the palette is really pretty because it's not a combination of colors that I would typically like consider. If I was building a palette without the use of this tape, I wouldn't really consider putting this shade of red with that shade of pink because in my mind red and pink don't go together, even though they're like very closely related cousins. But I think that this one is really nice. I very much like this kind of like subdued purple pink color. I think it's really, really pretty. So we scroll this one across. Let's see how far until the repeat. So we're looking for this flower again. Nah, 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 nah. Nya, 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 nya. Is that the same one? I don't think that's the same flower. Nope, those are different. We're still going then. Still going. Still going. Still going. Is that the same flower? Are you the same? The same? Yeah. Okay. So our repeat starts here and goes. You can see how much design you get in this, like how many individual elements, because we're still going, and there is the end of the repeat. So this is like a full wingspan for me. Okay, not quite. It's like 3/4, 2/3 of my wingspan. But yeah, not a fan of the warm colors, but the subtle cool makes it well balanced. Yeah, I think that they have done a very nice job in this palette and the balancing of the colors. And I like the little pops of green as well. It just adds a little bit of contrast. So you're not just sitting in the kind of like red, pink, peach, yellow kind of tones. But roll that one back up. Yeah, I do appreciate the clear backing of the PET tape, right? That's one of the things that kind of keeps me coming back to the PET tapes because in terms of the fact that like they're shiny, you can see the reflection on that. Most PET tapes are shiny. It does mean that it catches the light and thus makes it a little bit tricky to film videos when you're using them in setups because like, cool, there is a design here, but you can't see it because it just looks like a shiny white space kind of a thing. But because it does have the clear backing, it blends onto the page really nicely, which means that it like kind of looks like you drew it or painted it in yourself, even though you definitely did. Painting is not one of the skills I currently possess. If I had to try and do these myself, it would take quite a while. I'm not going to spend my time like that. People who do spend their time like that, though, they do amazing work. But anywho, these ones here are washi tapes though, and they do come in 2 sets. This is one set that has a third tape that I don't know if I have and have just misplaced already, which is mighty unfortunate because I feel like I just got it, or if it just didn't arrive. I'm not too sure. But that one is like a kind of pink floral, like almost cherry blossom-esque kind of one. Not like this though, a bit more saturated. It has kind of like a pink background to it, not a white background like this one. And honestly, it's probably the nicest one in the set, which is mighty unfortunate. But these ones though, you can see that they are a regular kind of like wide washi tape with different floral designs. And I thought that these ones would be quite nice as like corner decoration and stuff like that when I'm doing the different layout like idea compilations, you know, like we do with like, 50 layout ideas for your reading journal and stuff like that. These are the kind of tapes that I would tear and put into the corners of the layouts, which I appreciate. And because of that, I also appreciate that they're wider because it means that you have a little bit more to play around with. Let's see. Where's a ruler? We need to measure this. Yeah. And there we go, trusty ruler. This one is going to take up about 10 dot grid spaces or 5 centimeters. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. 10 dot grid spaces, which is just very convenient. It gives you a lot more flexibility in terms of how you can use it. So oftentimes in the idea videos that I do with like, lots of different layouts and whatnot, for some of them I'll put them in the corner, so I'll like tear across the tape and stick it in the corner. For some of them I'll put them down the side of the page or along the bottom of the page, so I'll just tear down the middle here. And because it's got a paper backing, it's actually really easy to do that. So in terms of designs though, we've got the yellow one that we've already kind of looked at, which looks more like yellow roses, which is pretty. I still don't know why we call it tape though, and it's Kiss Cut. It's just a roll of stickers. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's a tape in the sense that it has the same kind of like structure as this. It's just that then the tape itself is Kiss Cut. So I'm like, it's a Kiss Cut tape in the sense of like structure of a tape, but function of a sticker. I don't know. I didn't know if these are butterflies or moths. I think these are butterflies. I'm going to call them butterflies. I might be wrong though. So that's that one. That's one set. Has another tape that I don't have. And then this one has kind of just more of a like spring feeling. I don't know why, but this one gives me like autumn florals and this one gives me spring, like kind of spring florals. Those are strawberries too. Oh, okay. Nice. I do like strawberry designs. That one, like strawberries in general, feels very summery to me. So I've got those ones, and then this one here, which I think of this set is probably my favorite. And that one's kind of got like a little red, pink, a little bit of yellow, orange in it, and little pieces of green. So it's pretty. So these ones, all from the washi tape shop, as you can probably tell by the fact that it says WT on the inside of these. So that's my little washi tape shop haul. We love. Very good. I'm going to have to try and find some more space in my tape drawers. Actually, I think I'm going to need a new tape drawer because I have run out of space. And given the fact that this isn't the only set of tapes that I've got in our little haul today, I'm just like, yeah, I definitely need another tape drawer. But in terms of the next little collection of items we have, Kapoink was very generously sent a collection of notebooks from Tifosi. This is like the full collection of their new kind of like, I think it's all like vintage gold or something like that. So all of the designs on these ones are the same, but they come in different colors, which I kind of appreciate because sometimes from other journaling companies, for instance, they'll have a design which you're like, oh, that design is so beautiful, but the color of the notebook just isn't very you. So it's really nice that we have a range. So we've got obviously like purple, a navy, we've got a vintage blue, green, kind of brown color, and then black. And all of them have the same design on the front. So, new point. Move those over. So it's this kind of like old book style. That did not sound anywhere near as exciting as it should be. But you can hopefully see that we've got the kind of gold elements, but we've also got the parts that haven't been done in gold. So on the front here, like the leaves are done in gold, but the actual vines are just done with the embossing, which is quite pretty. So I quite like this. I think it's quite cute. And then we've got the brown one. So same idea again, like same design, just in brown instead. And then we've got the green one, which I think that the green one is quite pretty. It is quite nice. It's just that I think that it doesn't have as good a contrast as some of the other colors do in terms of like the gold. And that's because like green and gold together, you know? This one, oh, I don't know if this is my favorite, but it's probably the second favorite if it isn't the favorite, because I don't have a lot of notebooks in this color because it's quite a medium blue, which is really nice. I do very much like this one, and I think that if I was going to pick a favorite, it'd probably be the navy blue one. The navy blue one is so beautiful. I think that the contrast with the gold is absolutely stunning. I think the design in general is quite pretty as well, so that also kind of helps. And then the purple is very like it's kind of like punch you in the throat purple. I feel it's a more vibrant purple than I am probably drawn to, but this is the thing. I like the fact that we have a range of colors here. So if you like the design, you can then go and pick the color that is going to be most suitable for you. Because I know, for instance, there are some people who like really appreciate browns and kind of like neutral tones and such like that. For me, it's like this blue with the gold. I'm like, oh, beautiful. So beautiful. What is the GSM for these notebooks? These ones are 160 GSM. So if we just scoot these ones out of the way, we'll look at one in particular. Give me you. There we go. So this one is, oh, thank you. You're so welcome. So we have the This Book Belongs To, the Tifosi in card here, whatnot. And then we're into the first doc grid page. You can hopefully see that we have a number down here because these are numbered. They have numbered pages, which is great for people who like an index. The size of the notebook is an A5. I know that they have recently gotten into doing B5s. I don't have any of their B5s yet, but I'm like, oh yeah, I might go and nab some of those as well. But we've got page numbers, which I think are nice because they're not part of the doc grid and they're a light enough gray that they don't feel too obtrusive, I feel. I would probably like, if I'm being nitpicky, which I'm going to take that liberty. If I was nitpicking, I would like the number a little smaller, but I don't mind it that much. Like in terms of people who like indexing and who like to be able to find a page easily, it's nice. I also appreciate that the page numbers are at the corner of the page, so you can just flip through like, meow, as opposed to some notebooks which has the page number in the middle. And I'm like, I don't want to have to open my notebook practically the whole way just to see that. But Tifosi are doing B5 screams with joy. So we have the page numbers, we have the bright white doc grid paper with 5mm grid, all of that kind of good stuff. And then in the back, we have our pocket. Nice. We have some bookmarks, 2 bookmarks, which actually stick out the end. I know that sounds silly, but one time I got a notebook where the bookmarks didn't even stick out the end. And I'm like, what is even the point of you? How am I supposed to use those? So you're obsessed with the gold and foiling on the purple. I do like the contrast of it. I do think it's pretty. So we've got that. Got a pen loop. Look nice. On the back, it is just plain. And I think that this feels like not linen. If anything, I would say it probably feels like buckram. I don't know what it says on the website. If it's not a buckram, then it's like a coated linen at the very least, I would assume, because it doesn't feel like I'm going to accidentally put it down in something on a surface that I shouldn't have my journal on and then be worried about it getting stained or anything like that. So yes, you heard B5 from Tifosi. These ones are not B5. These are A5, but they are doing B5s. Like recent development on the Tifosi journaling front. The length of the bookmarks is very important. I know, right? So because I have my red art journal, this one from a while ago. I think I actually ended up cutting the the bookmarks off because the bookmark on this one was so long and it was just getting caught on everything. And I'm just like, why? They say buckram. Excellent. Yeah, I was like, I feel like I'm pretty familiar with different journaling materials, and I'm like, it feels like buckram. But I do like buckram because it's kind of like it gives you a texture similar to linen, but you don't have to worry about it getting as dirty, which I quite appreciate. But these ones, absolutely gorgeous, just like we have for every other product we're looking at. They're linked in the description box. We have a discount code because we love savings. But that's a good little stash of notebooks that I'm probably not going to use anytime soon because they're too beautiful and I don't want to break them in just yet. But we'll scoot that one to the side so that we can have a look at our next item. Ooh, which one should we do? We're going to have a drink break. Tink, excellent. Good job hydrating, team. So we're probably going to move on to the marker sets that I've got because I got 2 marker sets recently. One of them being a 90 pack and one of them being a 66. We'll start with the one that, technically speaking, I probably won't be using in my journal because they're alcohol markers, which just seems like a danger zone. So this one comes in this very cute little box that has a little handle. You like put the handle there and you can tote it around and such, which is quite nice. These are double-ended, so we have a chisel tip and a brush tip, and they come in a pack of 66 colors. As said, they are alcohol markers though, so if I use them in my journal, they will most likely bleed. I haven't tested them out yet though, so let's have a look. So if we open up the top, which opens this way, we have numbers on the pens, which is just lovely because I swear to the good Lord, having to number pens myself is not my happy place. But I also think that there is much to be desired in terms of the ordering of these pens because where is the rainbow order? What are they trying to do to me? Ridiculous. But having a look at one of the pens. So this is the black one, notably, because it's black on the cap here. We've got the chisel tip and the brush tip, sketch markers, Oros or whatnot. I think the Oros is like, it tells you what type of tips you have, because they also have another type, but I don't know what it's called, which has different tip types. So those notebooks look like the ones made for the Quirky Cup Collective. They remind you of the designs you have in Quran. Nice. Yeah, the Quirky Cup Collective notebooks are absolutely beautiful. I'm not trying to put anybody off of them, because as said, they are gorgeous. Their designs are lovely. My notebook from them is one of the most disappointing notebooks that I've ever come across. But that's just because I have very particular preferences and needs. Another stationery decluttering video coming soon? Maybe. But I'm going to put these guys off to the side here, just so that then I can get out a notepad paper. This guy here. There we go. Put these ones here. So this one here has the same paper as Arrtx. It is from Arrtx, and this is one where I just do little swatches and such when I'm trying to pick pen colors and figure out pen colors for different videos and stuff. This one was all about what different theme ideas or whatnot, and trying to figure out what pens I could use for that. Now, I'm just going to try and make it so that this is actually in focus for you. There we go. That looks better. So we'll flip to the next available page so that we can do a little swatchums. I have used more of this than I thought, which is pretty good. There we go. So, nice blank page. We'll see what we've got. I'm just going to pick up colors at random. So we've got a chisel tip. Whoa. Whoa, that's a chunk. I know you can't see it very well now because I've set the focus, but that is a decently chunky chisel tip. What are alcohol markers good for? They're good for art, from my understanding, and like being able to blend colors and such. Oh, that writes really nicely, but we'll flip over in a second and it'll be like, bleed, bleed. But this is a very pretty pink. You can definitely smell that they're alcohol markers. I know that some people will use alcohol markers on like sticker paper and such. So they'll do their drawings and designs on sticker paper. Hi. Hello. They'll do their designs on sticker paper, and then they will cut things out and stick them into their journal so that then they don't have the bleeding issue, because that's not the business. We don't want to put this directly into our journal, because because you what catches your heart, not what catches your eye. It's a nice quote, isn't it? But I bought a bunch of Copics for journaling, was wondering if they would work. Yeah, no, I don't know what notebook you're using. You could test them on the back page. I would definitely recommend that. Just make sure that the page after the back page isn't something that you want to use, because if they do bleed through, like these ones are, then you're going to have to deal with that. If I were using these pens to do art for my journal, I will probably draw like on this or on a separate piece of paper or whatnot, cut things out and stick them in, because I don't like bleed through. It's not my happy place. But that one was what, 416 or whatnot. We'll just do a blue color. Do the, here we go. Hi. In my toolbox. Yeah, in the top section of my toolbox. Vogel's asking me where to put a nail, just for anybody who's wondering, because he's tidying up for some reason when he should be working. Anyways, so.
Computer's shitting a bit, so I'm tidying up.
Okay, according to him, his computer is having a time, but I do quite like the pens themselves and the colors. I haven't used alcohol markers a lot, so I can't really speak to whether they are a decent quality, but I'm at least having fun with them. It's a pretty kind of color, because I know that one of the reasons that people use alcohol markers is for the purposes of like blending. Like, look at that. When you put all of the pen down really smoothly, look at that. No overlap lines or anything. So pretty. Everybody says hello, Vogel. Vogel says hello. So if you do it like, stroke by stroke, yes, you get some overlapping lines here. If you just do like a back forth, you get this very nice, like, uniform coloring, which is beautiful. But I'm not really all of that savvy with them, but they are very pretty. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing around with these. I don't know if you can hear it coloring in, but is effectively the noise that we're making here with these pens. I think it's kind of interesting that they have that, not like an ink dump, but they obviously have like a slight darkening at the corners, and this is probably one of those things that would come more so with practice in terms of like how you either minimize that or use it to your advantage or anything. You hear the scratch. That's nice, because otherwise I probably sound quite silly. I mean, I still probably sound quite silly, but flipping over, da-na-na-na. So I will not be using them directly in my notebook. We are going to test the black though, because I feel like the black needs to be seen in terms of how black it is. Oh, not bad, but you need to make good contact with the page, otherwise you're going to be devastado. Color, 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 color. I do also think it's quite interesting that there is a black in this set, because if we look at the other colors, like if we bring it back for a second, so there's the black splayed through, whoosh. Bring this guy here for a second. Like, looking at the color set that we have, pretty much everything in here is pastel, and then we have black. I'm just like, why? Like, that seems like an odd choice. I also just do not like that the black is sitting in the middle of everything else. Like, go sit in the corner. And the white one, which I don't understand why you would need a white alcohol marker. I assume it might be for blending or something like that. Big shrug. But these are definitely going to be needing to be put in actual color order, which is a project I've currently been doing with my Ohuhus. I have an 160 pack set of Ohuhus, and they don't come in any good kind of color order, so I've been going through trying to put them in color order. You see, like, this is me working through them. It's not perfect, but it's better than what I had, which was a hodgepodge mess. But black for outlining, yeah, could be something like that. I feel like, depending on the paper you're using, it might not work super well, because I don't know to what extent they like bleed out from where you put the pen down. And that probably has a lot to do with what kind of paper you're using as well, but there we go. This one's quite cute. We'll put this little box. I just love the box, to be honest. And I know we're not here just to look at the box, but it has like a slight magnetic closure, and it's got its little carry handle. So I'm like, yeah, like carry my pens around. Very cool. But that is one set of pens that I got from Arrtx. The other set of pens I got, which we technically have seen on the channel before, but they asked me if I wanted a bigger set. So I said yes. So now I have sadly, the box is uglier than the last box, but it's fine. This one is the 90 color set of their acrylic markers. So these ones are a paint marker, and if you've been here a second, you'll know or have possibly previously heard me say things along the lines of paint markers are my nemesis. And it's mainly just because of timing. Like, I don't like it when my journaling takes longer because my materials are stopping me from just like getting on and doing things. That frustrates me. And so I always assumed the paint markers just fit into that camp of like, you are making my journaling take longer and thus I don't want to use you. Turns out it was just the particular type of paint marker I was using, and there are actually paint markers out there that I like. So the nice part about these ones, one, they're brush tip, which is just like my preferred tip for pens and of this kind of nature. And two, they come in a range of colors that is fairly expansive, which is nice. Love to have options. Three, you don't have to shake them, and that is the biggest thing, all right? These don't need to be shaken, and thus I appreciate them way more. I don't want to have to like exercise to use my materials. And I'm not necessarily saying I'm against exercise. I mean, my habits and routines probably say otherwise, but in terms of actually utilizing my markers, I don't want to have to sit there and just like aggressively shake them for an excessive amount of time to put one line of color down on the page. Not really my vibe. These ones don't have to be shaken. Love that. Don't have to be primed. So I'm not sitting there like plunging the ink out of the pen for several minutes. These ones are great. So I have used them in my journal before. I used them in my setup that we had for my yearly collections journal. I didn't like use them heaps, but you can see like these green lines here and my very shoddy line work. Those ones are done with that paint marker because I'm like, you're opaque. I can go over the top of things, which is really nice. I can layer the colors, which is really nice. They're actually just a joy to use. I like materials that are fun to use like that. So these ones, they come with No marker, like no names on the barrel, which is slightly unfortunate because that was something that I liked from the alcohol markers, which came numbered, but they do come with number stickers. So all of these little numbers that are on the top of each of these pens are ones that I have gone and stuck in myself. They at least come in the correct order for using them. So this is kind of like the order that your stickers come in, so I can go and put these on the side of the pen. So it's like, oh yeah, the 00, I can put that on the side of this pen. CO2, I can put that on the side of that pen, so on and so forth. I haven't done the side stickers because I'm like, the base sticker is sufficient. Like, I don't really need more than that. But if we flip that over, we'll go to a new page here. We'll just pick this guy. So acrylic marker, high adhesion. I think the idea is that like you can use it on rocks and stuff like that. I'm not going to use these on rocks. That's not my type of art, but it's got a brush tip that's already got ink in it. You don't have to prime it. You don't have to shake it. So good. And then in terms of the actual kind of like use of it, oh, that was a pretty color to pick. I know that you guys can't really see what we're doing here, so we'll just hopefully that's a bit more visible. Get out of the way. The good people need to see. What a pretty color. So in terms of the dry time of these, because like I said, one of the things that I don't like with any kind of material I'm trying to use in my journal is it taking too long. These actually dry surprisingly quickly, given the fact that they are paint markers. Do they work on black paper? Yeah, probably. We'll get some black paper and I'll test them out for you. Notably, the paler colors are probably going to need multiple passes over if we're doing it on blackout paper, because although they are opaque, they're not like the most opaque. But oh, that's a pretty color too. Look at us picking all the good colors. Okay, let's try and pick a color that doesn't look as good. I don't know, this one. And now I'm going to offend somebody because they're going to be like, "That's my favorite color. How dare you say that like it's awful and whatnot." Okay, it's like a brown color. Brown isn't necessarily my favorite color, but still pretty pretty. Still pretty pretty. In terms of like the actual use of the pen, it's just very satisfying. Where did this come from? I have no idea. I'm looking for an empty hole. That was also, I suppose, one thing that I have maybe like a slight issue with their packaging is that the holes that these sit in don't hold the pen directly upright. So it can be a little bit hard to see where they're supposed to sit because they kind of all like merge lines with each other. But it's all good. It's fine. Yeah, I like a good brown. I'm just not usually sold on like a green tone brown is not usually my favorite. A good kind of like orangish brown, like this kind of brown is actually quite nice. But we'll go get some black paper so that we can test it on those, so that we can have a little snoop, little look. All right, where's my black paper? Over here. Little bag. My little bag of black paper. Here we go. We'll just pick this one here. And I don't want it to move around, so we're going to stick it to the page. Is this necessary? No, not even remotely, but I'm just going to stick it down so that then I've got them all in the same place. So if we go with one that's quite pale to start with, like if we do 02, which is a pale pink type color. So you can see at the end of the stroke there, it's not quite as opaque on the page. And as it dries, it kind of, thins out a little bit. I don't know if you can really see that. We'll hold it up. Yeah. So it would probably need multiple passes over if you're going to go with a lighter color. So that's a single pass over. We'll try and do a couple passes over. So that can be our double, and this can be our new single. So that's single. Go from the bottom. That's now been doubled up. And that's now been doubled up. Stroke, 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 stroke. And then this can be tripled up. And then along the bottom. So to actually kind of like make them feel more opaque, That pen looks white on the black paper. We'll put it on the black, or rather, we'll put it on the white so you can actually see the color. And so that's a single, and then a double, and a triple. And we'll put that one back where it belongs. Hopefully that's an actual hole for it. So this is kind of what the difference is in terms of like single pass over, double pass over, triple pass over on the black paper and the white paper, which I don't often use blackout paper, so it's not like the worst thing if it doesn't work like as perfectly as it could. But I think that given the fact that this is such a pale shade, that's really not too bad. Let's see. We'll go with something a little bit more punchy. Let's see how this one looks. Oh, purple. Go. Put purple down, and we'll do something that's not quite as dark. Maybe this one here. I think that when you first use these, you probably want to test them on a little bit of paper to start with, because the first stroke of the ink looks like it's not quite as blended as it could be, which, you know, depending on what you're working on, might be a problem. But in general, though, not too shabby at all. Ta-da! Yeah, the green on the black, it looks pretty cool, eh? So I'm thinking of like people who do those like neon sign designs and such, where they do the kind of gradient of the different colors and then also go in the middle with like the white and stuff. It's just like, oh, absolutely gorgeous. In terms of layering of colors, now as these ones have kind of dried, we'll go through and we'll do like, that's like just a paler tone of the same color, which I think looks pretty all right. Not too bad. If we do a layering of like a completely different color though, where did this come from? It goes in there. Like if you're layering over with a paler color, then it probably won't work as well. Like it'll have the same kind of thing as we've got down here. But if you're layering over with a darker color, it doesn't not work, which is nice. It doesn't not work. That's exactly what you want to hear about it, eh? Just curious, what's the current time for you in New Zealand? It is currently 9:43 a.m. on Monday. Happy start of the new week. We'll put black over the top just for the sake of, you know, being able to see how the black works. So black obviously layers quite well. Good job, black. Which is not surprising. Nobody is shocked. Nobody is shocked. And then in terms of that brown, we'll try and layer it with something lighter. This is going to be an interesting combination. Ugh. Yeah, this is not my favorite color combo, to be honest. So what I did when I did my journal layout that actually used these markers is that I went down with the green first, like a kind of darker green, to do my, like, you know, wee vines or whatnot, and then went over with a slightly paler green to do some kind of like highlighted areas or whatnot. I haven't swatched these, so I don't know which ones are actually paler, but effectively just went and did a little swipe of color on where the tops of stuff would be or whatnot. Which, this is not the kind of art that I typically do. So, like, you know, it's not necessarily the most amazing example of what you could do with these markers. This is another example of having to use them a little bit first, because you can probably see the slight gradient tone that we get with that, because the paint might be like a little bit separated. But given the fact that these are at a cheaper price point, I'm like not super surprised. Where did this go? There. Excellent. So having a look, you can see our various types of layering with some very interesting color combinations. Oh, excellent. We've got all the times coming in now. Lunchtime on Sunday. We've got evening on Sunday. Time zones trip me up so bad. I cannot do time math. Like regular math, totally fine. Time math, absolutely not. But I think this is pretty dang decent. I appreciate the range in colors of these ones. These ones also came with metallics. So we have a gold paint marker, which you can probably see is shiny. Shiny! And it also came with a silver. So So I'll put that one down as well. And they work fairly well on the black paper as well. Wow, that works actually. It doesn't necessarily look as good on camera as it does on person, but when it catches the light, you're like, yep, definitely working. So we've got the gold and the silver, which is shiny, beautiful, gorgeous. Catch the light. Ooh, yeah. So I like the range. I don't like the packaging. I think that this box is not the business. The last box was a really pretty, like, purple and pink, and this one is like trying to be camouflage, but you're next to a river or something. So I'm probably going to either cover this box or store them in something else because yeah, I'm not really a fan of it, but it's fine. It's fine. I do appreciate the range though. I appreciate the range. I appreciate the way they work. I like the layering. Okay, if we kind of have a little snoop, right? Because obviously with the last markers we had this level of bleed through. Horrendous. Awful. No. On this one, in terms of bleed through, we have none, which is very nice. There is a slight, you can probably see it just here, maybe, a slight buckling of the page where you put a decent chunk of ink, which is where I first laid down that green stripe and pressed fairly hard. But for actual bleed through or ghosting, we don't have any, which I appreciate. So we'll put that one to the side. We'll put our pens to the side. Because now we're into the realm of Journalsay, which I love Journalsay, mainly for the fact that their price point is very budget friendly for a lot of their things, which means you can get a bucket load of stuff for fairly cheap. Or cost effective or whatnot. I know some people take issue with the word cheap. Cheap is not a word that I have any kind of negative feelings towards. Unless you say something specifically like, that looks cheap. Like, cheap in general, not really fussed, but that looks cheap, that's not friendly. So Journalsay, in terms of the supplies that I have acquired for this section, main thought in my mind was the idea of my reading journal and collaging and stuff like that. So thinking about the different elements that would possibly go into the collages that I'm making. For anybody who's curious and hasn't already seen it, what I'm doing this year in my reading journal are collages for my books. Don't read any of the text if you don't want spoilers, but we're doing, like, collagey bits with screenshots from Arcane and pieces from there and the Empyrean series and little collagey bits for different books and games and whatnot. So I was thinking, like, okay, what kind of things am I reading or media am I consuming or anything like that? And what kind of things might be useful to have in my stash, given those. Yeah, I mean, there are other ways to say it, like budget friendly, inexpensive, cost effective, all of that. It's just that my mind uses cheap because I don't have any, like, immediate negative connotations for the word cheap. So if I say cheap in this, it's not me being all like, meh, or anything like that. It's just because that's my default word. All right, so Journalsay supplies. This one is a very full box of goodness. So I've notably tried to, in the description box, order it based on the type of material that I have acquired, just to make it a little bit easier. But I will say that the names of the products on Journalsay are difficult to decipher. I mean, first of all of them start with the word Journalsay, which I'm like, okay, yes, SEO probably, yeah, that's fine. But so many of them say things like landscaping, and I'm like, this has nothing to do with landscaping, but fine. So it's a little bit tricky to actually tell you what they are. So what I've kind of tried to do in the description box is give, like, a description of what the item is. Some of the items are a little samey, but they're not the same listing. So I tried my best. If you have questions, just let me know. I know that there is at least one supply that I haven't linked in the description box because when I went to check, it was sold out, and I believe it is this one. So we're going to politely take everything out of the box and unceremoniously chuck it on the desk, and then we're going to have a look through it. As we go through though, let me know what items are you like, ooh, yeah, I think I might get that, or ooh, yeah, I would totally steal that from your stash and add it to my collection. There are some pieces in here that when I went to place my order, I was just like, they are first in the cart, they are the MVP, I must have these type of a thing. I get very excited about looking at all of these kind of items. I'm like, oh gosh, I don't even need more sticker storage. I definitely need to get some sticker organizers because I'm getting to the point where it's not that I can't remember what I have. It's like I know what I have, I just don't know where it is. And that's kind of tricky. So we'll get all of these items out and we'll put this box over here. Ponk. Very good. So that we can have a look at all of the goods. Hee hee hee. So we're going to start with this one because it probably feels the silliest. I bought Halloween tapes because it pays to be ready in advance. And I thought this was cute and I thought it'd be really great for like a waterfall tab situation or like waterfall Dutch doors because they're all kind of in the same-ish color palette. It's just great. It's just great. So I look at the little skeletons. Look at them. They're having a little party and the little ghosties. It's great. I am maybe a little bit of a sucker for Halloween tape. So you have that set. Oh, awesome. As I was going through, I was just like, hey, I need to have these things in advance of the seasons that people would use them so that then I can make them like right away. I don't have to like place the order, wait for the order like during the holiday periods. So similar idea. I bought a set of Christmas stickers because I mean they were on clearance because Christmas is over. So now I'm ready for Christmas in terms of if I read a Christmas themed story or something like that, then I've got these in my stash ready to go, which I appreciate. This one sadly doesn't have an example on the back of what they look like. So we are going to open it up. I apologize for any crinkling noises. I know what I have, I just don't know where it is. This is you with your stencils? Yeah. I need to, or rather, I want to make some labels for my drawers. I just need to decide on what, like, firmly decide on what each drawer is going to have in it. But you can see we have 2 sheets here. I think these are kind of like the rub-on transfer ones or whatnot, which is why they had the instructions on the back. But I thought it was a very pretty color palette. It's not like a huge set of stickers either, which just means like I'll probably use it for maybe a couple of collages depending on how big I make them. But I thought that they were quite sweet. I don't usually use any of the text pieces, so we'll see about that. Like it says Merry Christmas a lot, and Be Jolly and Christmas Crew. I like Christmas Crew though. That sounds kind of fun. But makes you want hot chocolate. Yeah, it's summer here, so I would probably make mine an iced chocolate, but it feels very cozy vibes, which I appreciate. So we'll put those ones. I'm not going to put them back in the packet because I think that'll just encourage me to not actually store them where they're supposed to be stored. So we'll put that over here. We have other Christmassy bits. So this one was, if it's not technically specifically Christmas. I mean, it says like Winter Flower Dream, and Christmas for me is in summer. But you know, I felt like that they reminded me of Christmas, like the kind of like pine needles and such. But you can see the actual designs on the back of the packet, and we have 2 of each design. But I thought that these would be great for little kind of collaging pieces, stick them in the corners, all of that kind of stuff. So much snow there that you definitely have hot chocolate. Nice. Yeah. Stay cozy. Stay cozy. So those ones look very cute. These ones are going to go into my sticker book. And these ones are from the same set, but they are a different color. So this is also one of the things with Journalsay is that like, because we have, there are certain listings that have multiple colorways, but then by changing the colorway, you also change the design. So if we have a look at these 2 together, you can see that like the actual designs of the elements are different along with the color palette being different. So we've got the green on the left and we've got the blue on the right, but the actual flowers and such that they've used are different, which in a way is kind of nice because then you get things that look a little bit more realistic, I suppose. Like if we had just gone with the green design and just made it blue, I think it would look a little strange. But I thought that these ones would be great for just some nice simple corner decorative pieces. So tucking those ones to the side. I don't know what it is about moons and flowers with moons, but I'm sold. I love it. So I got 2 different colorways of the moonlight flowers or whatnot, which I think I in the description box called them like moons with flowers or flowers with moons or something like that. Absolutely gorgeous. And you can hopefully see when I tilt this in just the right way that we do have some gilding on those, which is very pretty. We're going to get these ones out though, because I feel like they deserve to be out of the packet. Because yes, I can show you the back here, but it doesn't really show you the gilding. So we'll get that one out. And we'll get this one out. These ones they're not like huge stickers, but they are bigger. So in terms of how to utilize them in your journal, like I'd probably be more inclined to use them on things like cover pages and such, but you can only make so many cover pages. Oh, there are a couple that are smaller. Okay, I hold my tongue. Not literally, because ew, but we'll put this one out. Yeah. So you can see, like, sometimes I wish that they had this design without the gilding, because depending on the theme that I'm doing, it might not be quite right for it, but it is very pretty. I think that the smaller pieces with that much gilding in such a like kind of condensed portion can be a little bit tricky to like, deal with. But these larger ones that have the gilding a little bit more spread out. This one feels upside down, doesn't it? Let's turn it this way. So this one is a sticker. It's got a kind of like PET backing or whatnot. The question is it easy to separate the backing? Let's see. Yes. Yes, it does seem to be quite easy, which is nice because sometimes with especially the PET tapes, I find sometimes the backing is really fine, which means that actually separating the front from it can be really bloody challenging, but these ones are actually quite easy. So that's quite pretty. That is a different design again. So we can see those ones. I feel like we should just get all of these items out of the way so we can actually look at these properly. Get out of the way. We need to look at the moons. We need to look at them. Beautiful. So we have 2 of each design. We got like, 2 of that one there, which again feels upside down. I'll put that the right way around. Somebody should have gotten out some white paper, and that someone is me, and that someone is going to try and rectify this by finding some white paper so that we can lay something underneath them. There we go. So we can actually have some contrast. That looks so much better. So we've got those 2, which are the same one. We've got this one here. We've got that one, which is the same as that one. For some of these bigger ones, I'm only going to lay out one of them because it'll take up a lot of space on the page. Ooh, absolutely gorgeous, though. I think that they would just make for a very pretty theme by themselves, except for the fact that they are very large, which means, like, these ones obviously being quite large, hard to use on the one page. Like, hard to make use of them on a page that is, I'm thinking A5, because that's what I typically use, and then still have stuff to go around it. I mean, it's doable, but it is very pretty. So, put those ones out. That one is a double up. That one is have we got this one somewhere else? No, I don't think so. We should have, I think, 10-ish designs-ish. 10-ish designs-ish. What does it say? Yes, 10 designs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, beautiful, though. I just love it. I just love it. I'm not going to really be able to pick these up, but I'm going to pretend that I can and thus try. So you can kind of see the gilding on them. See where the outlines are nice and shiny. Which, if it doesn't catch the light, I still think it looks pretty. Like, if we look at this one without the gilding, I still think that looks really gorgeous. Then, like, once it catches the light, still very pretty. But, yeah, sitting on the edge of a Dutch door, that would be really gorgeous. I'm thinking, like, if you kind of had this one on the side of a page and then had, like, the cut line kind of come down and then go, like, around the outside of the moon design and then go down again. But being a sucker for the moon, like moon designs like this, and the added florals, even though I don't really consider myself to be much of a floral person usually, I just think that this combination was really, really nice. So they are definitely new favorites in my stash. Then we have the moons that are the yellow kind of moons. If we look at the designs together, I think that the designs of them are fairly similar, but they've just changed the type of florals they're using and the positioning slightly. We'll still lay them out because they're gorgeous and I want to look at them. But we do need to put these moons back into a packet as well as I can. Trying to stack them without accidentally catching the edge and then, like, tearing the PET tape up or anything like that. But that looks like a good stack. and put those ones back in there. And I'm not going to put them back into their plastic packaging because I want to keep them out and then put them into my sticker storage so that they are easily accessible. Well, your 2025 reading journal setup was outstanding with the black and gray. I'm glad you liked it. I really enjoy it. I think that it turned out quite well. You know, and toot my own horn here, but I like how it turned out. So for this one, we are going to go, yeah, one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me, so that I don't have the double ups. If I do this before I kind of get them all out of order, it's more likely that I'll be able to tell which ones are which. Oh, we've got a whole moon there. That's nice. It's good to have some variation. That one's there, that one's there, that one's there, that one's there, that one's there. Excellent. These ones can go back over here so that then they're nice and easily tucked away like before. You gotta go shovel some snow. Oh dear. I hope it goes well. That doesn't sound like my kind of party, but look at them. Aren't they so pretty? Like, yes, obviously, Jess. Just show us the damn stickers. But I don't know which direction that one goes in. I mean, I guess, you know, dealer's choice and whatnot. I feel like that one should go this way. I think for the most part, for most of them, you could probably get away with putting them in any orientation. It's just that I like the flowers to look like they're pointing up, if that makes sense. So those are the designs we have for these ones, which I just like having. I like having color variation because it means that if I pick other materials and such that I want to use, I can, you know, pick and choose. They also have other colorways of this one though too. I think they had like a purple and they had a blue and such. I just went for the two more kind of like quote quote neutral tones. I mean, as neutral as you can get with the holographic gilding or whatnot. Is this one holographic or is it just gold? Oh yeah. No, it's holographic. You can see that kind of like slight rainbow-esque tint to it, but beautiful. So beautiful. So putting the moons away and moving on to our next stash. In my mind, I was like, yep, we're going to do this in the most organized manner possible. We're going to go through all the stickers first, then we're going to go through all of the tapes and yada yada. And then I looked at the items. I'm like, ooh, pretty, shiny. Let's look at that one first. So yeah, this is a little out of order. I apologize. Also, remember that hydration is important. Tink. Gotta have a drink where we can. So, what's next? We're kind of working our way through the stickers. So this one in particular I got because we are reading a Greek mythology inspired book for book club this month, and I had literally nothing that was Greek mythology inspired, so I got these stickers. So you can see on the back here it's got like different landscape pieces and a couple of people and whatnot, but I figured I would literally just get these so that I had something to decorate the page with. That was pretty much the only reason. This one has 15 items, one of each design, which means I'm definitely going to have leftovers because I don't think I need to decorate it with quite that many pieces on the one page, but at least I've got some options. I haven't started the book yet though, so I don't know which items are actually going to be useful, but they're there. I've got them. And I figured because I was getting Greek mythology that I should also get some like Egyptian inspired ones too. This one came in an interesting packet though, so I'm gonna see if I can open this one up so we can have a look at them. Because this one notably doesn't have a picture on the back to show you what is included. So we've got the lady and the camel and the scarab and the face and the cat and the lady and the person and the pyramid and the sarcophagus and a snake and lady. Nice. So we've got a little variation. I don't know if I'll ever read a book that's set in Egypt in this kind of time period, but at least I will be ready if I do. Like if I ever read one that is going to be set here, I have the stuff for it. When I'm doing my collaging, wherever possible, I do like to try and use elements that are actually like relevant or related. But yeah, you joined the BBC and was like looking forward to the rules you created. Like, you should read the same book as thy cousin. Yeah, readeth the same book as thy cousin. That was when we first started it off, and I was making Rachel's journal, and we kind of like tried to put it in like old timey English, even though neither of us are very savvy when it comes to old timey English. But I think we did a good job. Let's see. Oh, error page not found. It could be because that item is sold out but it depends on if that's happening for every single link. If it's happening for every single link, then there's probably an issue. If it's only happening for one or two, it's probably because that item is no longer available. That's the hard thing, because they do sell out really quickly. It was all the links. Interesting. Every single link. That's a bit rude. Well, I'll have to go and figure that out. Now I'm tempted to go and have a snoop for myself, but I also feel like I shouldn't do that because I'm in the middle of something. But I'm still doing it because that seems to be the way that I choose to do my life right now. But let's see. I think the next item is going to be this one because it's the next one on the stack, and that makes sense. And now I've literally made it my way here so I can have a look at these links. Yeah, the page not found. So rude. That's all good. I'll figure it out and then I'll go fix all of those up. But I appreciate that you guys are looking out for me. So these ones are just little, what I'm calling like ink splotches, because that's what they kind of look like. It just looks like somebody's made little ink splotches and added some very pretty foiling to it. Look at that. Look at that foiling. Gorgeous. I thought that these would be good for like just some kind of neutral page filling in. So nothing too particularly specific for a book, but more so maybe if I'm reading a nonfiction and I don't want to decorate it with a bunch of random stickers that are Egyptian styled or whatnot. I thought that these ones would be good for just sitting in corners and pretty things like that. Because I thought that these were quite cute. But we've got a good range of those. One's in the blue. This is another one that they had a variety of colors in, at least when I went and had a look at the listing. That was a little while ago though, so. But we will sneak those ones to the side. This link breaking thing, though, has me a little stumped. This is an interesting conundrum because I went and set the links up just the other day. So now I'm like, what have I done wrong? Oh no, it's a panic. It's not that much of a panic. It's all good. I do find the store can be a little bit hard to navigate though, so I will definitely go and aim to fix those links for you so that you can find specific things and not have to stumble around in the dark like I had to while I was trying to put together this order. But I did get some dragon stickers because I read a lot of fantasy books, and a decent chunk of fantasy books have dragons. Well, like not all of them, obviously, but a decent chunk. So these ones all come in a bunch of different colors, but they're very, very cute. And we've got these little cool guys here. This one's like more like a with the moon kind of item. So lots of dragons. Lots of colors, looking pretty cute, looking very fierce. Given the fact that we're on to the dragon point, though, we're going to have a look at another dragon piece that I got because obviously while I was going through this, I was just like, dragons. I do like that, at least on Journalsay's website, a recent addition they have is collections. So they have a collection of items that are all inspired by a particular like style or theme or anything like that. So I went through their dragon selection and got a couple of items related to those. And then like had to put one back because I'm like, it's too expensive. I can't get it. And literally I have another Journalsay order on the way. But that's not a today problem. That is a when my order gets in problem. But it also has dragon stuff in it. So we'll put the dragons away. They are gorgeous though. I think that the hard part about this is that because they are all different kind of like colors and such, I want to display them in my sticker book in a way where I can see all of them so I know what I've got, but I think that might be a little unrealistic. Yeah, they all say page not found. How rude is that? So another item that I got is this guy here. I'm pretty sure this one might actually be sold out by now, but it was too beautiful. I had to get it. It was also one of the more expensive items because it is a like full 6-meter roll of tape or whatnot. But look at it. Look at that. Isn't that cool as heck? At least I think it is. Oi, come back here. We're trying to show people the designs. So we've got like this guy, dragon. And I think the hard part about this is that the designs do go off the side of the page. So page tape, which means that in terms of using it, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. But like, it's so cool. It would be great for Onyx Storm. Yeah, I was thinking about using it on my Onyx Storm page, but I just think it looks really awesome. They're absolutely gorgeous. And this one has a decent chunk of designs as well. Get out of the way. We need to see the designs here. Shoot. So that one looks pretty nifty. It does have some gilding in it. You might be able to see where the light catches it. Just a little bit though. It's not like overpoweringly gilded. But I thought that this looked really, really awesome. Yeah, very rare to see a vertical washi. I know, right? And this one has like what I would say like elements of vertical. So like this part feels vertical and this part feels vertical. But then this part, if it wants to play the game, yeah, feels horizontal because of the direction the dragon's facing. But I could not say no to this. I was like, absolutely, this will be part of my collection. This needs to stay. So I have a sneaking suspicion that I will probably end up using this in Vogel's journal. Yeah, the Awesome Dragon sold out. I apologize, team. I don't know who manufactured this. It says Fairy Tale Fairyland in the middle. I don't know if that means anything to anyone or if it means anything in terms of like where this tape originally came from, but I do think it's really nice. So I'm looking forward to utilizing that either in my reading journal or in Vogel's journal or in my journal. Just lots of journals, says Vogel. I agree. Lots of journals. So, more stickers. I got this one because I thought it was quite. It's going to be the same for everything. I got this one because I thought it was cute. So, I got these ones. These ones are inspired by like astrology, star signs type of a deal. So, we have a design for each of them. If you know which ones they all are, then you are doing better than me. Cancer. The ram. Is that Aries? I assume that's Gemini. Pisces. It's got some fish. I don't know. That's a person on a horse. That's not a horse person. That's a Leo. That's a Taurus. This one would be Scorpio, I assume. Libra. That one's easy. And then this one's the ram. But then this one's also a ram. Do we have two rams? I don't know. Is this the ramfish? Which one's the ramfish? Is there a ramfish? I have no idea. So like they're inspired by but like not necessarily perfect. I'm going to assume this is Virgo for no reason. I just thought that they were quite cute. I don't necessarily think that I will use them as astrology inspired things. It's the kind of thing that I'll probably have to like make my choice and then stick with it, because if I'm going to use them for astrology inspired things, you need to use them together. If you're not going to use them for astrology inspired things, then you can use them wherever the heck you want. Yeah. I think that they look really nice though. I like the color palette. I thought they were quite pretty. I think that the Scorpio looks more like an armored spider, but that's in my mind what a scorpion is. So like, shrug. It's still pretty cool though. So we've got those ones. We've got, because I can't even remember all the star signs, eh? I have a problem when it comes to like, I know the ones that my friends are, but then trying to remember the other ones, it's like, nah. Like, what? Leo, Aries, Libra, Capricorn. So that's like my family. Blanks. Scorpio. Virgo, Pisces, Gemini. Vogel's a Gemini. I probably should have said that one already. Now I've lost count. So big shrugs. Big shrugs. Yeah. They be making Virgo look evil. I'm like, are they not? No, I'm kidding. I know nothing about astrology outside of names of things. I'm also like, this idea of like, I don't believe in astrology. I'm like, astrology exists, whether you want to believe in it or not. It's whether you like believe in the alignment of stars at your birth actually dictating parts of your life and such. That's a different thing. But I am always very interested in it, even though I don't necessarily believe in the concepts behind it, if that kind of makes sense. But anywho, this one is a like fun party sticker book, according to the title, by the Have a Good Day brand, which made a lot of these. So happy birthday, birthday party, birthday day. But the main reason that I got these ones were for the kind of like little celebration and bunting banners and such, because I thought that if I ever read a book that's themed around a birthday party or a birthday gathering or something, then I want to make sure I have stickers for those things. So we've got cakes, we've got bunting, we've got balloons, all of those kind of things, which I just think was very quite cute. Are these two of the same? Yeah. Yes, I believe that we have each design in PET and full sticker, which I wish they put the PET one first so that then you could like just see the design, which would be easy. But we've got those ones, the little bears, little birthday table, and then we've got the bears and the birthday table on the PET design. It's good to have options. Some candles, little sweet treats, all of that kind of thing. So I like that they're all in the same color palette because I'm a sucker for a color palette, but at least I am fully decked out for any kind of birthday-esque type thing, especially a pink themed birthday. Yeah, I know, right? If I ever do, it's this kind of thing, right? I this is another one of those ones that's like, this was sent to me by the brand. They're like, "Hey, here's a voucher. Go buy some stuff." So I'm like, "Okay, what could I use?" And I was like, "Well, I don't have birthday stickers in my stash, so I'm gonna get a book with birthday stickers so that I have some in my stash." But we'll chuck that one to the side. This one is one that every time I go on Journalsay, I'm just like, "Oh my god, they're so pretty. I so want them." And I know, in my heart of hearts, I know that I have zero idea as to what I'm going to use them for. So we're going to open them up so that you can have a look at them. But they are called magic discs, whatever the heck that means. Mainly just because they're disc shaped and they give magic vibes, I suppose. But we'll put those ones out. We have 10 designs, 2 of each for 20. So we've got some small ones. Small. So cute. I feel like you go that way. Again, I feel like it's dealer's choice a lot of the time, but so some of them kind of look like compasses, some of them kind of look like pocket watches. They all look kind of magic. They've got like stars and sparkles and such around them and whatnot. So as said, no idea what I'm going to use them for, but they looked cool, so I got them. Yeah, it's nice that they have some variety in sizes, which I do appreciate. It's always a bummer when the design you really like is the one that's in the wrong size for what you want to use it for, though. You're just like, oh man, that one's that one. That one's this one. We don't have this one out yet. That one's that one. So, nice little collection. This one is another one that comes in a bunch of different colorways, which is very cute, but we can put those ones to the side. Yeah, it's kind of an astrological type thing. They do a lot of the time look like compasses. Like this one feels very compassy. But we have a zoom in look. I don't know. How zoomed in can we get this? You can see it's got like the little notches on the side and such, and then it's also got the little dial in the middle and whatnot, but I think it's pretty cool. Giving a little steampunk. Yeah, it kind of feels a little steampunk-esque, doesn't it? I think that it's just cool. That's why I got it. And I don't know how I'm going to use it, but if I read a book that has a compass, maybe I'll put it on that. This is the thing, is sometimes, when people go shopping for food and they say like, "Oh, my eyes were bigger than my stomach," I have that problem when it comes to Journalsay. That is my downfall. Like, I kind of like look at all of these items. I'm just like, wow, oh my gosh, like I could totally find a use for this. It's that one that's the dangerous point. I could totally find a use for this, and then it just sits in your stash for 6 years, and you're like, oh, I wonder if that sticker went off. That will not happen. I will not let the stickers go off. This is the thing. While I am decently good at acquiring stationery, I'm also very good at rehoming it or letting it get passed on to people who will actually use it as well, because I don't like to keep things in my stash that I don't end up using. So it's like, at the moment, everything I'm bringing in, I feel like I will use. But if there comes a time where I'm like, actually, Jessica, it's not going to happen, we're not going to use this, then it's going to be put into what I very politely call the fuck it bucket, which effectively is just a collection of stationery items that are still good, they can still be used, but they're going to be used by somebody else. Like somebody else is going to use them. So usually I go to my friends and go like, hey, is there anything in here that you want? Is there anything in here that you're going to use that you would actually find helpful? They can take the items. And then anything that's left over, I reach out on my community group and I'm like, hey, does anybody have kids who like arts and crafts? Does anybody want 27 billion stickers? That kind of a thing. But getting into the realm of paper, I thought that this collection of papers was so absolutely gorgeous. I thought that the designs were really pretty. So we have at least 2 of each, 3 of each, 2 of each, 2 of each. So this one was very like autumnal kind of themed. So I've got like this one. We probably won't look at every single one of them, but those ones. It gave kind of like storybook vibes, and I thought that was really pretty. So we'll just go through a couple of them so you can kind of see. Does a fairly decent job of showing you how they look on the website. In terms of thickness, I would say that they are like equivalent to cartridge paper. They are quite thin, which means that they won't add too much bulk into your journal. I mean, if you stick a lot of them in, then it definitely will add bulk, but I thought that they were really, it feels very full. Yeah, Journalsay overwhelms me. I can completely understand that. I think that sometimes it's kind of tricky to find real gems on Journalsay. Like they have the items that they have as like, these are the most popular items and whatnot. But sometimes in the listings that are like a little less popular, or the ones that don't get immediately pushed right in front of your face, you can find some really cool items, which you just have to be willing to go for a hunt. But yeah, remember yesterday I said I'm trying not to buy more stuff? Oh no! I'm sorry. But very cool. I think that the nice part about this is that like sometimes when you get papers from uh what was we saying? Like inexpensive, budget friendly type websites, sometimes the saturation of the colors is just really meh. Like in terms of the black on this, it is not as black as I typically like to use. Don't get me wrong. I love it when my black is super, super black. But that being said, I have had some papers from some companies which felt like they used the lowest possible print quality setting. This one is a decent, like in the middle towards the higher end. Like, is this print quality that you would want to put out on, like, I don't know, wedding stationery? No, not so much. But it is definitely decent enough that I will comfortably use this in my journal and be very happy with the result. Yeah. So put these ones to the side. Super pretty. Need to figure out how I'm storing my papers, to be honest, because my paper storage is not great. Now, these ones in particular, I got specifically because we just had an Attack on Titan marathon, and this reminded me of the title cards in Attack on Titan. So it's kind of dark, little like, grungy world map, steampunk-esque type thing. Again, I'm pretty sure we have at least 2 of each design. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So maybe 2 or 3 of each design, depending on which design it is. But it's all kind of like dark, steampunk-esque kind of things. These are the type of the papers that I would just rip up and put into the corner of my journal for things. But I think that they're pretty decent. They would blend nicely into the background if paired with elements that pull like, more punchy focus. So decent little collection of those items. Put those ones to the side as well. Shapoink, shapoink. And because I liked the idea of the darker kind of aesthetic, yeah, I think that the vignette or whatnot on those papers is quite nice. I also got one that was like haunted house inspired. This one, it says haunted house on it, which I'm just like, you didn't need the word. We could have just taken that off. But oftentimes if there's going to be writing on a paper or like on a sticker or whatnot, I'd prefer it to be the kind of like, sorry, there's a spider on that. I know people get weird about those things. Get weird about that was rude. I apologize. Oh my gosh. I know people feel uncomfortable seeing spiders, even if in print media. That's what I meant to say. I'm obviously distracted. What I get weird about though is writing on these types of things where you can actually see the words. Like I would prefer it to be kind of like script to the extent of like you can't really tell what the words are, so it blends into the background nicer. If you actually have words, people read them. All right, I'm gonna move past the spidro because I know people don't like spidros, but the rest of the design looks like this, and then there's a spidro in the corner. So no spidro, no spidro. We have this guy, this cheeky little moon, looking a little weird. You have 5 pet spidros. Aw, I'm glad that you like them. Yeah, that's right. The scorpion is an armored spidro. So we've got, very dark kind of theme. We've got like cobweb bits and bats, freaking bats. And then like this is a nice haunted house. It doesn't say haunted house on it. So very kind of like dark-esque inspired type stuff. More bats. So that'll be good for my Halloween stuff. The moon is the creepiest part. I know, right? I feel like the moon was creepier than the spider. Oh, where did he go? Just like, hey there. So weird. Some of the designs on these, I'm just like, this was a choice, but anyways, going on the paper kick because yay, more papers. I think that the hard part about the papers is that you have to actually have your own adhesives, but it's cool. It happens. This set though, I was so tempted to use this for my March setup because for March, if you weren't aware, we're doing like a celestial theme in the community. So people doing like, stars, planets, anything space kind of related or whatnot. And this just felt like very like kind of borderline because it's obviously got ships and boats and stuff like that. But I'm like, if it fits the vibe, it's just I didn't know how I would be able to use it at that point. It's so cute. It's so cute though. I thought that they were really pretty. And I like that the color is kind of subdued, but it feels like storybook-esque. And I thought that this pack was gorgeous. So I'm like, you know what? I must have it. I must have it. You work for NASA. You need that one. Yeah, you should get it. I mean, I'm not here to kind of, obviously this is a stationery haul, so I'm just like, hey, look at all of this cool stuff I got. But I'm not here to like try to tell you to spend your money inappropriately. Like, you are your own person. If you have decided that this is not within the range of budget that you want to allocate for stationery for the year, hold strong, friend. You can do this. We're allowed to just look at the pretty stuff. This is like window shopping. But if you want it, I'll fix the links and then you can go have a look. But this one was like, three papers rather for each design. And I thought that the palette was really nice. And I thought that the like little stars and sparkles and bits and whatnot, it just spoke to me, spoke to my soul. So I nabbed this one as well. Very cool. Yeah. You're a recovering arachnophobe. Wow. Yeah. But now you have Spidros. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm bad at remembering who said what. So if I'm talking about the wrong person, I apologize. But yeah, you got your first Spidro. Okay, yes. Excellent. Well, that's cool. Good for you. Because I know that like one of the things that I was reading about recently was a study which people did about like, phobias and such. And they in particular focused on people with arachnophobia and got them to like name their fears to try and help them like kind of deal with the discomfort in being in the presence of a Spidro. And I know that was something that proved to be quite useful. But anyways, that's a complete aside. I just thought it was interesting. So we have this one here, which is called Go Into Nature. I'm like, I don't think I will, but I will use the stickers. So this one just has bunches of little PET elements that are done to be like shorelines and coastlines and such. So we've got the PET one and then we've got the regular one. And we've got little waves and such, which I thought were pretty cool. I'm just going to flip past each of them so that we can see all of them. Beach vibes. So if I read a book about beaches or that features beaches, I'm ready. I'm good. I liked these ones. I thought that they were quite cute. This one is interesting because it's a starfish, but it only has 4 points. I don't know if that's actually a thing that happens, but yeah, water scares you. I do not like the ocean. We don't know enough about that spot, and there are things down there, and that freaks me out a little bit. But I also am like, I can't really swim. Like, I'm not great at swimming. So yeah, AI starfish. Most probably, yeah. It's fine. I like to think of it as a like, or just like doing body inclusivity for the starfish. Like maybe some starfish don't have 5 limbs. So we want them to not feel left out. There we go. But I thought they were quite cute. So we've got those ones as well. Put that one to the side. Now, honestly, this one I thought was going to be bigger, and it wasn't, and it's quite small, and this is what we got. Is what it is. But I think that the back comes off here. And it's just like little strips of paper with, I don't know what this style is called, but I thought that they were cool. I don't know when I will use them. I don't know what I would have to read to make use of them, but I did think that they were pretty nifty. I also don't know if they're papers or if they're stickers. I feel like we should test one. I need to find one that I don't really care if I use it. I'm going to test this one. Okay, so we've got, it's just like a little booklet. You can just pull them out, which is kind of nice. And it is a sticker. It comes off and it's like a washi paper sticker, which is quite nice. Okay, that's pretty nifty. But as said, I did genuinely think this was going to be bigger, and they're quite small. They are the size of my finger. I know that that's a very helpful metric for everybody, so yeah. Let's get a ruler out. That is not helpful. So yeah, like something set in the 30s or 20s kind of a thing. I thought that was kind of cute. So we've got 16 inches. Whoa. We've got 16 dot grid spaces, so 8 centimeters is what we've got for those. And then if we go across, that is 2.5 centimeters or 5 dot grid spaces. Much better. So yeah, Don't forget to pink the bag. Oh my lord. Marcules, why you do this to me? If anybody's like, what are we talking about here? Mark, in the more recent episode of the Planet of Pals podcast, was talking about how somebody he was talking to online had like revealed the secrets of how they did ink swatches and whatnot, and they effectively got like a bag, like a snaplock bag or something like that, colored in on the snaplock bag, applied a little water or whatnot if they wanted to, and then put it down on the page and then like tapped their finger over it. But he said they fingered the bag, and I was just like, Mark, what the heck? You're gonna get us cancelled on the internet. We can't be using language like this. Kind of a thing. And then it all just evolved from there. But anyway, so yeah, more like an Art Nouveau is more like 1900s to 1915s. I'm not great with artistic eras, but I just thought that these looked pretty cool. And I've got a good range of designs in here. So I'm looking forward to utilizing them at some point. The HR department, yeah, we just started talking about how we should probably get an HR department because we're saying too many escandalo things. But that's pretty cute. I know that they had a couple of different designs in this one, but I again, I thought it was going to be bigger. I'm not sad about it, but I thought it was going to be bigger. So that one is just like for some cute little decorative pieces. But we've got this little book here, which just has some different papers, which again have that like nice vignette kind of a thing, and they've got a lot of like leaf and autumn kind of inspired things. They look textured, which I appreciate. I like things with texture. You can be my HR department. Yeah, I feel like we need one, so we can take our grievances out in a mediated setting. But I thought these ones are pretty cute. That one has a decent chunk of the same design, which is nice. I kind of appreciate when things have the same design multiple times, like to an extent, obviously. Mainly because it takes away some of the kind of like fear of messing up. Because sometimes when you utilize it's like, okay, this is my one design of this type, and if I rip it wrong, then that's the end of it, kind of a thing. Like, there will be no other instance of being able to use this, so I can't stuff it up. If you have 3 or 4 of the same design, it just takes away some of that pressure, which I very much appreciate. So, putting that away. We have more paper. Ah ha ha ha. This one you may have seen if you watch Erin Smith. What a good egg. But she uses this or has used this quite a lot in her journals previously. Mainly, I think, because it is kind of like fairy tale, fantasy-esque kind of vibes, and a lot of what she creates is in that kind of styling, which is very nice. So this one is just a paper pack, but the paper is like quite thin and gilded, which I think is pretty cool. So we're going to take this little string off. Get out. Nobody asked for you. And I believe it is just straight paper, I think. I think it is. Maybe it's not. Doesn't seem to be like a sticker, but I do think we have some different types of paper here because the ones on top feel thinner. Maybe it's every second one. I'm not sure, but they are very nice. You see like that shininess. So beautiful. But some of them feel quite thin and other ones feel thicker. Like if you look at the back of this one, it's got like nothing. Whereas if you look at the back of this one, it's on a paper. So this one is kind of like, I don't know how transparent you can see. Can you see my fingers through? Yeah. So this one has a little bit of transparency, but the shininess is really beautiful. It's just so beautiful. It's beautiful. That one is very thin, very thin. Maybe it's like all the ones on top of the thin papers. Thin. And eventually we will get to the not thin ones, but see how they each have a different design. But I love that like they're all in the same palette. They all have the same kind of gold gilding or whatnot. So you can utilize them together, which is nice. This one has the backing. It has like the white backed paper. So we've got a decent collection of different pieces for those, which again, they feel very storybook. They feel very fantasy. It's giving me storybook. It's giving me fantasy. It's giving me green and gold, and I appreciate that. I think that the contrast is really, really nice, and I think that the gilding is absolutely beautiful. So decent stack in this one. There was like 36 papers. So I feel like this is going to last me a decent while, and these would be the kind of things that I would rip up and put into the corners of layouts and such, because that is my personal preference when it comes to utilizing things like this. So tucking that one to the side, my desk is looking like a bomb site because everything has just been moved over onto a free bit of space. There's not that much free space. These ones are actually a sticker sheet. Like this is a sticker. If we peel back so sticker, but it is like all of these different kind of sky, galaxy, aurora type things, depending on which set you get, because they are all a little bit different. So this one I got was one for me, one for you, one for me, one for you. Da, 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 da. You can see the designs that we have here. I think there are 5 designs or something like that. 5 designs for 10 pieces because we have 2 of each. Put those ones to the side. Looking cute. I just thought that they would make for really nice kind of background imagery and whatnot. You can do like, start your collage with these. We'll put 3 out so you can kind of see them. But I thought that they were absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, that is so pretty. So those 3, and then these 2. So I got the kind of blue and orange kind of colorway, but they also had one that was like a bit more kind of like rainbow-esque. They had one that was like starry, shooting stars kind of thing. I'm explaining all of these incredibly poorly, but they are quite pretty. And once I fix those links, then you'll be able to go check them out for yourself. But I appreciate that these ones are a sticker. I'm a little bit interested in terms of utilizing them because they're a sticker, because I was thinking like, oh, paper, you can just like rip the corner. No, this has plastic backing, so ripping the corner is not going to happen. But we can put that one to the side, looking gorgeous. Need to figure out how I'm going to store all of those pieces. These ones are nice and easy because they're just sticker books, so we can look at those ones. Ta-da! So I got 4 sticker books. Because I, again, am doing like that kind of reading journal collage-y kind of style. So I have found that these sticker books have been very handy for those things, because oftentimes I just need like 1, maybe 2 stickers or whatnot to put down on a page. So these ones have kind of like collections of stuff that can be used for certain types of books or whatnot. So this one is called Sword and Shield. We'll just like flip through kind of quickly, but again, can you tell what kind of books I read the most? Like, I was just like, okay, Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe. Cute little apple tree type thing. Got some dragons, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to use the text ones because that's just like not necessary, but I do think that these look pretty nifty. Love the dragons. We got some flowers because, of course, and then we're into the ones that aren't the PET type. These are the regular paper stickers, because the ones from before are the kind of like more matte plasticky finish ones or whatnot. I always love how like over the top intricate these are. Like, I think that it's a little bit unrealistic that all of my characters in all of these books are going to have that kind of intricacy in terms of any type of armor they're wearing, but it doesn't matter. We're not aiming for realism here. We're aiming for pretty.
Looking for fun.
Oh, what's up, Vogel? No, thank you, but thank you for offering. Vogel asked if I wanted some toast. But I think that this will be great for all of these kind of like, collage-esque type things when it comes to fantasy themed bits and pieces. I also like that we have a lot of these kind of like full type landscape type ones. The people say that they're grateful for you, Vogel. I know you're not here anymore, but I'm going to tell you when you get back. Ooh. I also like the ones that have these kind of washi strip type things because they come in handy. And I also think that this parchment style that we have here is really nifty as well. So that is the full range of this book, Whoopah. We're going to go through the other ones a little bit more, briskly, but 3 guesses as to what this is inspired by. But I was like, I do read books about magic. I haven't read a lot about magic schools yet, or like a school where people learn how to be magic. How to be magic, how to do magic. But I'm thinking that if I do read any books that are about like how to do magic, then it would be good to have some that are in a school kind of setting. Makes sense. But I'm not going to use a sticker that says hovering flight. I mean, it can just sit in the book, and eventually when I am done with the book, then somebody else can have hovering flight. I do like the bookshelf ones though. I think that that's pretty cool. We've got like different scenery pieces, magic. Some of the lettering styles that they choose for these, I'm just like, what are you doing? I don't know what Anticonmatune is, but when I figure out what it is, then maybe I'll be able to use that. But different bits and pieces, looking pretty cute. See, these kind of scripty pieces, I'm like, technically speaking, I can read them. Like, technically, this is written in such a way that it is legible, but it feels a little bit more like blend into the background compared to other ones. Yeah, hovering flight could be a new term for brain dump. Yeah, I could probably use it in that kind of way. So we've got scenery pieces, shops and whatnot, ingredients and wands and stuff, lots of clocks because everybody needs a good stack of clocks, but lots of good pieces, but flip through those very, very quick. Whoopa, whoopa, whoopa. Oh, the feathers are actually pretty nifty. I'm looking forward to using those pieces. And I like the parchment pieces. But in terms of these other two, do we actually have like pictures on the back? Oh, okay. We do have pictures on the back. It gives you kind of like a feel for it, but we're going to still flip through. So this one was music and life. I don't know, again, what I would read that would be related to this, but it was one of those my eyes are bigger than my stomach type thing. I'm not going to eat the stickers, but hopefully you understand the general sentiment. Yeah. You think they're all absolutely awesome? Nice. I think that this is the thing. It's like I like to have the range so that I can like pick and choose. Like I can make choices type of a thing. I like to be able to have like a stash that's stocked enough that it's like I know like in any pretty much scenario I can say I have a sticker for that. That one that I find very satisfying. I just know that eventually there'll be a point where some of these stickers I'll probably be like, okay, I don't really need these anymore. But oftentimes when I do a declutter of my stickers, the sticker books are one of the hardest to let go of because of the cheerleader effect. I'm like, oh, look at all these florals together. I'm like, yeah, but are you going to use the florals together? But it's all good. It doesn't bother me enough. It's like I've got enough space in my storage thus far that I can probably find a spot for these. But yeah. Yeah, literally, I'm just gonna like pick a sticker and be like, okay, what kind of book can I use for a park setting? Like, what kind of book has a character who plays the saxophone? Like, I should set myself up a reading challenge, which is called like the Sticker Stash Takedown Reading Challenge. I like the Offie Shop. The Offie Shop is great. I'm not gonna use the coffee shop label, but I might use the Offie Shop. Again, I'm not so hung up on the idea of like, oh, the wording on this isn't like right or whatnot and all of that kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, it is just like what I'm going to call decoration fodder. It's not quite what I mean, but it's like that's not supposed to be the main point of the page. It's just there to do a little bit of visual interest on the page while I do my general journaling and thoughts. These are cool. I love the washi strips. They usually are my favorite part of these sticker books, to the extent where I wish they would just do a full book of those. You can probably find them somewhere. It's just not these ones in particular. What was that one sticker? Songer? It was the one that said Songer. That's great. I love that so much. Some of them are just like, come on, you just needed somebody to do just a little bit of a proofread on this. Doesn't bother me enough to really like be that much of a problem, but I do think it's quite entertaining. Alrighty. Tink. Use the saxophone for a spicy book. For this one, I was literally just like, I'm going to replay Tomb Raider so that I can use these stickers. The Forest of Tomb. What? Again, the English isn't great. The translations are not great, but I'm not really here for the words, so it doesn't really bother me. So we have a whole bunch of like Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, jungle exploration, adventure type things. Jungle? Yeah, it says jungle. That's cool. I mean, do I play enough Tomb Raider to use this entire book? No. But when I play it, fire, but with an apostrophe. Like, oh dear. We've got some gems and crystals and such, because obviously we're raiding for treasures now. Got some little bits and pieces, but it's like, just because this one is called, the Tomb Raider set or whatnot, doesn't mean I can't use this stuff for other things. But yeah, like some choices have been made here in terms of the items included. But plants are cute. I like the grass. I think the grass is quite nice. There's some nice grass. Got different bits and pieces. Flipping through. Yeah. Come on. Get that one. There. Brave exploration of the unknown. Again, not going to use the text, so it doesn't really Honestly, yeah, could probably work for Hunger Games in some respects as well, eh? I do need to read the rest of the Hunger Games books. I've only read the first one. We've got some random beastie bits, so like a shark, which is interesting, aggressive looking bat, abominable snowman or something. At least that's the vibes it gives me. Yeah. Use the lamppost for reading the Narnia books. Yeah, that would work too, eh? I think that there are different uses we can use these for, which is nice. And some of them are kind of like, generic enough that they could pretty much used in any scenario. It's just that when you see them next to everything else, it's like, oh, this is Tomb Raider. But we've again got some of those washi-esque strip type things. I think that this one looks a little bit odd. I think it's supposed to be like tree and like knots and wood, but it doesn't really give that vibe for me. So we're going to move on from that one. Boxes with vines, and then the obligatory like back of journal sticker set, which is very much like labels and checklists and whatever else, but it's cute. Yeah, when mommy returns, we could use it for that as well. I think the nice part about my reading journal is that I don't just use it for books as well, so it's not like I have to go like, okay, these stickers, how am I going to use them for something that I'm reading? I also use it for games and movies and TV shows and stuff like that, so it's like, I can use it for those things. But you couldn't resist. You just placed a $60 order with Journalsay because you had to have the sparkly blue ink blot stickers. No, that is very fair. Hopefully you used a discount code because we love savings. But now we're into the realm of tapes. So these are in particular the tapes that I got from Journalsay, not the washi tape shop tapes that we already looked at. And we did already look at one of the tapes, so this guy here. In terms of actually opening all of these, it might be a little bit of a mission. So I'll see how many of them I can just hold up to you. This one was I'm trying to say brick, stone fence with moss. I thought that was pretty cute. And then this one was like a kind of picket fence type moment. So we've got like the wood slats. Or you could think of it as like a what's the thing? Like you walk on it. I'm explaining this really poorly. I'm thinking of a suspension bridge, like a rope bridge type thing. So I was like, it kind of gives rope bridge a little bit. There we go. Thank you. You know what I'm talking about. This one was a stone path, which I thought was pretty nice as well. I like the combination of the blue and the kind of soft grey and the orange. So stone path for that one. We have a brick wall, which like how am I going to use these? I don't know. Secret Garden. I'll just read that like 50 times. But this one was pretty. I just thought it was cool. I like the leaves, and I thought that the brickwork was quite nice as well. So we've got that one. I'm trying to find all of the ones that are kind of like semi-related to that type thing of just like little scapes. This one, I feel like I need to unwrap for you because I saw. I think Panda maybe used it, or an equivalent in their journal. But look at it. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. I was like, I must have this tape. It is again gilded, so like you can probably see the gold reflecting there. But I thought that the wave designs looked really, really cool. And it's not kiss cut, but you can kind of like, it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that would be too hard to cut around the original, like in individual pieces rather. Yeah, just like read The Secret Garden, watch The Secret Garden, watch the newer Secret Garden. Yeah, I think that this one was really, really cute. So I was like, yes, I must have this. I feel like this is going to end up being a theme in my journal rather than just, quote, just in my reading journal. But I thought that it was just a very nice set. Whee! I love the like saturation of the blue as well. I think that it's so gorgeous. So gorgeous. So we'll wrap that one up and put it to the side. I know we also looked at the dragon one from before, and I feel like that's in the same realm as the dragon one. Like, need to use it. I also feel like I now need to rewatch The Secret Garden. I haven't watched it in ages. Tink. We had it recorded, like when you used to be able to record the TV off the or rather, record the TV using the VCR machine or whatever. We had a VCR of The Secret Garden that we had recorded, so it had like all of the ads and stuff playing through it, which is just it added to the experience. Gotta have some water. Gotta stay hydrated. So Next item, we're going to look at these three because they're kind of related to each other. So these ones are Kiss Cut, and they're just like, I feel like I do need to open this one up for you so you can actually see it. So otherwise, it's just a little bit tricky to tell what it's for. But the nice part about these ones is that they are Kiss Cut, which I appreciate because it's just a little bit easier to utilize them. But it's those kind of patterns that would go along the top of like notepad papers and such. I just thought that was kind of nifty, kind of cool. So I've got some designs of those. They're all kind of short, which means I'd probably have to utilize multiple pieces if I wanted to go like across the entire width of a page or anything like that. But I thought it would be a nifty little thing that you could use to add some decoration or design to a otherwise quite simple box. Is kind of what I was thinking. This one is like burnt paper edges. So again, could be good to add to a little box or something like that, just for some added decoration. And yeah, Moby Dick or the Old Man in the Sea. Yeah, I just, there's a book. Okay, so there's a book. Wow, Jessica. I think it's like The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea or something like that, or like it's a book kind of like that. I haven't read it. I have no knowledge about what this book is about, but one of those types of books has an absolutely beautiful cover. I don't know which one it actually is, but that's the kind of vibes it gave me, even though it's not perfectly the same. This one is like film roll type things. So again, these ones are all Kiss Cut. They're all like individual elements that I could peel off and put on the edge of a page or the edge of a box or something to just add some decoration to that box. So I thought that those would be kind of helpful to have because I do have film tape, which is like the full kind of film tape track or whatnot. So it's got both of the edges and the crossbar parts for each of the individual segments or whatever. But I thought that these ones would be kind of useful for building my own in a way, like to an extent. Yeah. So we'll put those ones back, pull them back up off. But I thought they were pretty cool. And then the other ones I have are kind of like all sky inspired. We're going to look at the one that I know for a fact I didn't link in the description box, even though the links don't work. Mainly because it was pretty. I got it because I liked the palette, but you can't get it anymore. So we won't finish on something that I know you can't get anymore. That just feels rude, kind of a thing. So I want to make sure I do that one first. So that would be this one here, which like I can show you that, but you can't really see any of the designs. So we'll actually have a proper look at it. But this was another one that I was kind of considering for my celestial inspired type theme, but it didn't quite give me celestial enough. I thought that the palette was really pretty. I thought that the styling of these was really gorgeous. And again, I'm not going to use any of the text pieces because that's not really my vibe, but the other designs I thought were really, really cool. I like the kind of like soft glowiness of them. It's pretty. You just place your first Journalsay order for your birthday. Happy birthday! Nah, we all gotta use the code. Gotta get a discount. We love savings. But the rest of these ones are all kind of like what I'm gonna call sky inspired. So these ones are Kiss Cut with like the pink and purple kind of pastel clouds, which is quite cute. The occasional rainbow or whatnot. And then this one is similar but different. So this one's got the blue with little puddles, but like cloud puddles. I don't know. It's an interesting combination, but I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous. And then this one is a kind of more like peach and purple with, moons, stars, clouds. They're all cloud themed. They've all got clouds, but those ones are all really cute as well. And then this one, these are all from the same listing. I was just like, oh, I just want every design. Well, almost every design. This one's got like a kind of dark blue, purple kind of color palette, but it's got the little kind of like stars throughout the clouds and such. It's kind of like a blending of the sky and the clouds together. Little lightning bolts. Ziggy, ziggy, ziggy. Very cute. This one, on the other hand, is a PET one. I don't know what material this actually is. It's kind of like a frosted finish, like a matte frosted finish, but we'll open this one up And this one I'm pretty sure came as part of like there are alternate colors and whatnot, but I just liked that it's just one big continuous cloud. It might have an end point, but no, the loop is pretty decent on this one. It's got a couple stars and sparkles at the top, but it's just like one big cloud, which I thought was quite nice. I thought the palette was pretty. I thought the design was quite cute. So then we have these next ones, which are a washi tape, and they're cut so they, hopefully you can see the scalloping. Like this one in the front is the blue, and then behind it you've got a couple of different versions, and that's why like the top here looks a little bit interesting because it's cut the whole way along. So I thought this one was really nifty. Probably lay that down the bottom of a page or something like that. And this one also came in a couple of different colorways. So we have this orange blue kind of palette, and then we have this kind of like pink orange kind of palette. And then I also got one that was dark blue with kind of more of like a galaxy-esque type theme, which they're just gorgeous. They're just so pretty. I mean, again, that's pretty much why I bought everything that I got in this stash, because I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. I need to have it. Did I need it? No. Nobody needs these things in theory, but I wanted them, so I got them. But hopefully you liked what you saw. Let me know. What was your favorite? Like, you know, you're allowed to have multiple favorites. Which ones would you be most inclined to steal from a stash? Because we had a decent chunk of items here. I love the clouds. I love the moon, astrology-esque kind of pieces. I think that if I had to pick a favorite item from everything we looked at, it would probably be the moon stickers that we looked at kind of like towards the start of the Journalsay stuff. These ones here, because they're awesome. They're so awesome. How long does it take to get to New Zealand? Not that long. Yeah, probably about the same time as it would probably get to Australia. I have found that it's probably taken about like maybe 2.5-ish kind of weeks, roughly. The dragons were your favorite. Very fair. I think that this dragon tape in particular is absolutely gorgeous. And I've got another dragon tape coming, which is more like it like feels like kind of phoenix dragon inspired or whatnot. Obviously, like I also love the journals and such, and I also love the pens. I don't know, lots of love all around. But in terms of some of these supplies that I now get to, one, find home for in my office, oh my gosh, and two, get to use in my reading journal and regular journal and stuff. So excited. But if you liked today's video, give it a big thumbs up. I always enjoy getting to share new stationery with you. If you do have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I was going to say the description box. I'm like, you don't have access to that. You can't edit the description box. I need to edit the description box though, because none of our links work. How rude is that? Oh my gosh. But otherwise, team, I will talk to you next time. Alrighty. Bye for now.